That's really far away. Let's roll the intro and let's get a little closer. There we go. That's a little better. Alright guys, so it's been a while since our last vlog, so I kind of want to catch you up on things. You might notice a little bit different setup. We got a new table, a new kind of set, and this has kind of been a long time coming. We've been trying to figure out what we want to do with this space as far as vlogging goes, videos, podcasting. We haven't podcasted in a while. And one of the things that that's been on my to-do list for a long time is have some type of space out here where we can do like unboxings, reviews, and like I said, podcasts and other stuff like that. We looked for a long time as far as like tables are concerned, because I really wanted something like a nice sized table that wasn't too long or too wide, that really kind of fit the space, complemented the kind of aesthetic that we were going for. So this is kind of what we landed on. In searching for a table, I couldn't find one that was the exact size that I wanted. Right, I was looking for something that was about 5 feet wide, or that was about 5 feet long, and I wanted it less than 36 inches, so that way it was easy transported through doors and things like that, just in case we needed to move it and stuff like that. So I wanted it less than 3 feet. To fit through, just for functionality wise, and then we couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything that I liked. I couldn't find anything that was reasonable. I don't want to say reasonably priced. Tables are expensive. Like, I get that, and a lot of work goes into them. And I really wasn't looking for like IKEA furniture. And I wanted something that was going to last and something that was sturdy. So at the end of the day, I found a couple different YouTube videos that kind of walk you through building a table and stuff like that, and I came across the channel called The Rehab Life, and they called this an industrial farmhouse table. I'm not really sure, I guess because it's kind of got like that picnic table top type of thing, but it's also got metal pipes as the legs. It kind of makes it the industrial thing. I don't know. So I was like, you know what? Let's build a table. I like the way the legs are structured. Huge shout out goes to them for kind of like the idea of this thing. We had to alter the dimensions a little bit because when you're building something, you can build it to whatever you want, so build it to the size that fits. So I made it exactly 5 feet wide, and it's 33 inches thick, and it works great. It fits the space great. It went together really well. It's a little rougher than I would like, and we did 3 coats of poly on it. Obviously sanded it down, stained it, ran some stain over it, 4 or 5 times. And then we did three layers of poly over top of it. It's still a little bumpy, and in some of the cracks you can kind of see where the poly is dried, and it's kind of like I guess bridge some of the gaps, but there's still some holes. So we might sand it down again and do a couple more layers of poly and see if we can't get it smooth out, and go from there. So, but at the end of the day, it's fantastic. It works great. We've actually had some friends over. We played some board games on it, so it's going to be used for that as well. But for the main purpose of it was reviewing products, vlogs like this one, and then also doing like unboxings and building and stuff like that. So, I'm really impressed with how it turned out. So, let's kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on over the past couple weeks. Like I said, I know I haven't vlogged in a while, so we're going to kind of try and make this short and to the point, kind of like an update vlog, so that we can kind of get back into the swing of things. So, we built the table, right? So we're kind of flushing out the sets here in the office. One of the big things to get this project done was to work on building the PC. I wanted to put the PC together for you guys, do a couple computer building vlogs with you, kind of demonstrating what I'm building. And the first step to that was getting this table created, and fabricated so that we can build on this table. So I'm looking forward to that. The only piece that we're missing at this point is still our AMD chip. To kind of catch you up on that that endeavor, we canceled our order with B&H because we've been waiting for months for this thing. So we canceled the order with them. Turns out Micro Center had 10 of them in stock here in Dayton. By the time we got the refund from B&H, Micro Center ran out of their copies of the actual chip itself. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get it from here in Dayton. However, they had 3 up in Cleveland where my sister's at, so we Venmo'd her the money. Unfortunately, they sold out before she got a chance to go get it. No problem there. So, so the quest continues. Will we get the AMD chip that we're looking for? Obviously, they have we're going after the 9 series. They have the 7 and the 5 in stock, but I'm really looking for the 9 series. So we're still gonna keep looking. And the computer itself can wait. It's waited this long, so we'll find a copy. We'll find the processor itself, and we'll get our hands on it. So, but this was the big project to kind of get that ball rolling. So that's the next step for this the next kind of step in that chronological order. We got some new equipment as well. I know we've talked about the tripod and monopod kind of briefly in vlogs. We'll have reviews coming up very soon, hopefully this week, maybe next week, on those kind of comparison to what we were using, and kind of those equipment upgrade videos that we've done long ago, because I feel like I owe it to you guys to kind of show you kind of the progression of us upgrading our equipment, and now that we've got our hands on and used the equipment itself, like in the field, out on a wedding vlog, or in the field on a wedding job, and just trying to get you guys more information about what we use. So yeah, so we got the new monopod, the new tripod. We also upgraded to a slider, which I haven't used quite a bit, and that might kind of go. That's definitely going to go in the review for it. I've only had an opportunity to use it once so far in the 3 weddings that we've shot since we owned it. Right now, it's just there's not a lot of time to kind of break out those extra pieces of equipment, and it takes a little bit of time for setup. Right now it's inside the package at all times, and basically pulling it out, putting on the ball head, taking off the slider off the tripod, assembling the 4 or 5 parts to get this thing ready to kind of get the one shot that we're looking for. The setup is just too long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of streamline a little bit. I'm gonna really try my best. I've got 2 weddings coming up this weekend that I'm going to try it out on at both weddings. No matter what, hands down, going to get at least 1 shot with the slider so that I can show you guys in the review. But I feel it's not genuine to review something if you haven't used it yet. And I like to use the equipment multiple times and actually kind of get a feel for it, so that way I can come back and show you guys, how I use it. Is it a necessity? Is it a want, a need? Is it something that you can do without? Or is it something that really kind of brings an extra, it brings an extra oomph to your videos? So, the other thing that we purchased was a new recorder. And I'm not really going to review this right now. I just want to kind of talk about it a little bit. This really isn't kind of a preview or anything like that. We just got to use it once this weekend at one of our weddings, and I'll kind of give you the idea of what our use case scenario is for it, and kind of our first kind of impressions, I guess you will. So this is the Tascam DR-44WL. It is an upgraded version to our Zoom H1, which I was using the Zoom H1 kind of out of purpose. This device is really kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to what I need. being able to plug in a device into the speaker or into a soundboard for a DJ and get crisp, clear audio from the DJ, from the microphones for like speeches, for prayers, anything that the DJ hands a microphone over to a person and speaks. This is the best way that I've found to record that. Now, it does come with some flaws. Essentially, anything that happens to the DJ audio happens to this audio. So if, let's say, for instance, the person walks into a dead spot, or the audio cuts out from the microphone, this will record that. So, you really can't, this is more of a backup than a full-fledged first choice. Obviously, if everything goes well with the DJ, then this is going to be perfect. I'll kind of, like I said, I'll go over like kind of specifics and things like that as in the review video. But first impressions after using it for one time, it was pretty easy to set up. It's got two XLR inputs right here. This is channel 3 and channel 4. Obviously, you can record, ambient noise through 1 and 2 up here, but we were really looking for capturing audio from the back of the DJ speaker, which was great. And we've got basically a bunch of different connections here that we used basically to cover any possible obstacle that might come up. So, inside our bag here, we've got some Velcro ties. Obviously, this is paramount to keeping this thing secure and off the floor, and keeps it safe from harm. This is not a cheap device. It'll set you back $200, but I think it's kind of along the lines of the Tascam, the lapel Tascams, the DR-10Ls. This is kind of a necessity. If you kind of combo this with the DR-10Ls, I think you're going to have like a perfect solution, right? This will be your backup. You've got your main lapel audio mic being recorded at all times. I think that's kind of like a 1-2 punch that you can't really miss. So as far as the connection goes, so we've got so you've got your main inputs are the XLR ports. Now, the nice thing about this recorder is you can kind of force it to do dual recording, kind of like the DR-10Ls, where it'll record 2 audio tracks, one at 1 decibel and one at slightly less. That way, if audio peaks at any given time, maybe someone picks up their voice, or maybe someone starts singing, or whatever the case may be, someone moves the microphone closer to their mouth, whatever the case may be, this will be able to record that lower decibel level. And the way we accomplish that is by using this splitter. So this has got 2 male XLR ports to 1 female. So you basically plug these both in to input 1 and input 3 and input 4. That's very important. Input 1 and 2 is up here, 3 and 4 are down here. Now you have a single XLR port. You can get an extender, so you plug basically this extender into your splitter, and now you can plug this into the back of their speaker. Most speakers will have a female and a male port for you. If you don't have that, then you've got if the DJ wants you to plug, like let's say they want you to plug into the speaker, or if they want you to plug into their soundboard, now you've got the audio jacks here, the red and the white. You can basically convert it from XLR all over to that, and now you can plug into that interface. The other kind of final, I guess, test that we have here, or the final subject that we have here, is into another microphone port. Just in case, worst case scenario, they don't have this. They don't have the XLR. They don't have the red-white audio jack. This is just another option that you can go with. So we've kind of got all of our bases covered here as far as like interface goes, and making sure that we've got the right connection for the job. The Velcro straps, again, are basically meant, if you've got this plugged into the speaker, rather than having this dangling or laying on the floor, basically what I'm looking to do is taking some Velcro straps and wrapping it around the DJ's speaker pole, and keeping this secured against the speaker pole. That way it's out of the way. It's, you know, the cables are nice and tucked away. You know, it's a blessing that it's a blessing that the DJ is actually letting you get that audio out. And you know, you want to respect his setup, right? So you don't want, you know, wires laying on the ground. You don't want your new equipment laying on the ground, obviously, for, you know, tripping hazards, and you don't want anybody kicking, whatever the case may be. You want to keep your stuff out of the way as humanly possible. So the best way I found to do that is Velcro straps. These things are super cheap, super inexpensive. You can get them at Walmart for like $3 for 2 giant rolls. I've got a cup. I left one of the rolls in here just in case I don't, you know, it's just a nice thing. And, you know, if you only got enough for yours, right, and he's in your DJ, let's say your DJ has just the wires falling out of his speaker, right, and you pull this out, he lets you plug it in or whatever. You strap on your Velcro ties to your, you know, to your recorder or whatever, and you make everything look nice. And he's like, "Oh man, I wish I had some of those." You'd be like, "Hey, you know what? I got you covered." And you pull it, you know, got a few extra. You pull them out, you let him, you know, kind of wrap up his cables a little bit, and, you know, you make a good impression on him. And that's really what it's all about. So, so kind of first impressions of the DR-44WL, phenomenal device. It sounded great. We were able to kind of set up the recorder early on in the night at the reception. After the DJ kind of did a few announcements and things like that, we noticed that our levels were peaking. So we dialed those back a little bit, kind of reduced the decibel levels, reduced the volume levels, and then did another spot check real quick, and it turns out that it worked really well. I just got done listening to it, and to be honest with you, the 2 recordings that we got are very close together. So we're gonna kind of, for the next wedding, we're gonna kind of break those up just a little bit more, so that way, you know, we've got the one at a certain decibel level, and we've got one that's a little bit lower, just like I said, just in case something happens where the person just starts speaking really loud, or whatever the case may be. You want to have, you know, enough difference to where you can kind of splice the 2 together, or just use the lower one for the people that speak a little bit louder, or maybe hold the microphone a little bit closer to their face. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm really enjoying this product. So if you're in the need for, you know, a device that will plug into a speaker, plug into a soundboard, this is definitely the device to look into. Like I said, we've only used it once, so make sure you take that, you know, that advice with a grain of salt. We're going to continue using it because we enjoyed it so much. Like I said, we've got a couple different, you know, alterations that we're going to make to it, and kind of dive into the actual menu system. We received this Friday right before we left for the wedding. So we didn't get a lot of time to work with the menus, just enough to kind of change the bit rate, change, you know, different the audio levels and things like that, and really didn't get a chance to dive into too much more. We did upgrade the included memory. It comes with 4 gigabytes, I believe. We pulled that out and put in a 32 gigabyte one, just so we can set it and kind of forget it. You know, so being able to record for like 16 hours is phenomenal. So basically, after the DJ set up, we went over, introduced ourselves, said, "Hey, you know what? You know, I really would like to get a feed. Can I get, you know, plug into the back of your speaker? That's the best thing for me. Is that something I can do?" He said yes. So it's on. We basically set it up, hit record, walk away. I obviously don't forget it. So, but yeah. It comes with a couple other, you know, it comes with a few extra things inside the box. You know, this carrying case is nice. It's got a hard cover, so you won't break the screen or anything like that. It's a nice soft cover, so that's, you know, that's good. Comes with some other doodads and things like that. We weren't really interested in using them. We've got a couple different ports, you know, plugs that we bought extra. But all in all, I'm kind of looking forward to adding it to kind of our arsenal. So we're going to have to make room in the bag because this did not fit in our bag. So our second camera might get kicked out. We might have to find a second solution for carrying all of that, because you know this is part of our main kit, and we want to make sure that this is with us at all times. So. So that's our new toy that we got from Tascam. Really enjoying it. So we'll bring you guys up to speed with a review later on after we get like I said, 3 or 4, maybe 5 different wettings with this in our kit, actually using it. So look for that review definitely coming down the line. So we had a wedding this weekend. Had a lot of fun. We were up at Vermilion on the Lake, up near Sandusky, Toledo area. And man, it was gorgeous. We got some really nice shots. The ceremony was amazing. The couple were amazing. We went to Gorge for kind of like their portraits and things like that. So we got some really cool shots down by the water and with rocks in the background and things. It just turned out phenomenal. So looking forward to editing that. We've got a few more to edit in front of it. So, you know, like I said, we've got some more work to do. We've got our schedule going. So we're going to hop back on the computer and get those edits finished. So again, I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave us a comment, thumbs up. What you think about the new table? What do you think about the new setup? I know we got some cleaning to do behind me. And this chair, I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's super annoying, and like I feel like I can't move. I kind of like have to hold still. I just can't move. And if you know me, I like to move a little bit. So, yeah, gonna need some new chairs. Definitely need some new chairs. Some comfy ones, right? Because if we're gonna be gaming on these, right, we want some comfort, right? But yeah, like I said, gonna have to clean up the background a little bit. You know, never mind this. You know, this section right here. Those are all old video games. Those are gonna come out. I've got a solution over off camera that we're gonna move those so we kind of spread the video. So we can kind of spread the board games out a little bit so it doesn't look so cramped. I don't know. And on top of there, we definitely gotta get cleaned up too. So, but that's for another day. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next vlog.